potentially have quite an important impact on how our society handles taxi services.
Which has been very, very damaged by the COVID-19.
Well, there's a nice link to that then. But you know, I've actually had mixed responses. I had one taxi driver the other day who was very, very cautious, and I had another one who was he spoke very good English actually, and he told me, you know, he's 70 something and not really worried about coronavirus. So there's a quick poll of two taxi drivers on the subject. But there's a different angle here that you're going to take.
Well, let's discuss the issue of TADA. A bill was introduced by the lawmakers, which effectively bans the operation's future for the popular ride-hailing service. The National Assembly last week passed a bill that would have allowed TADA to continue its operations, but now it is in question. And even President Moon Jae-in will have to give a final decision on the bill. If he supports the lawmakers' vote and sides with the 250,000 taxi drivers who oppose TADA, he will likely face criticism of going back on his pledge to promote innovation-led growth through deregulation.
Well, certainly deregulation is an appropriate word in this area, Mr. Wang. And I know you've looked at various legal aspects of this subject in the past, but innovation, maybe that can be debated.
Yeah, I mean, is TADA truly kind of a technologically innovative company versus as many of these, you know, kind of ride sharing or other kind of, you know, so-called sharing economy companies kind of exhibit? Like, are they just, you know, purely just, you know, arbitraging, you know, kind of legal loopholes? And, you know, TADA is kind of classic case of, hey, there happens to be a very limited small loophole in the existing laws. Let me get it in because, you know, this only works if you have, you know, a bunch of taxes that can have between 11 to 19%. I believe the loophole was. I mean, it really was a company that was created out of legal loophole. And to say that this is purely innovative economy, I find it rather, you know, I remain quite skeptical about that.
Ms. Koo, to play TADA's advocate, I don't know where you stand on this debate anyway, but just to play TADA's advocate, what would you say is most innovative about this service?
Well, it recognizes a set of demand by a niche of the public, which is more open to a mobile platform-based lifestyle that, well, taxi drivers often, can provide through the taxi app services, but that TADA is a little bit more, let's say, targeted at you can actually reserve the services of TADA ahead of time, several days ahead of time. But with this platform not being available to the public who actually need those services,
But
then
yeah, the thing is, if they were advertising themselves like that would be perhaps something that I and others might get fully on board with, i.e. An Uber-style service for Korea that's very, very much differentiated from taxi services because of all these innovative differentiations, like being able to reserve in advance, being able to make more of a customized experience.
Yeah.
But because they are effectively trying to sneak through a loophole of saying this is car sharing and they're using vans that are for like 11 to 15 people, it kind of makes a mockery. It makes a fool of the legal system because that's clearly not what they're doing. In my experience, TADA is offering a kind of premium taxi service with those benefits.
yes, and with 1.7 million subscribers to that app, yes, there were people who actually preferred taking that service rather than trying to hail down a cab, which is extremely difficult at, you know, certain hours of the day.
But the thing is, Mr. Huang, of course, they might be popular, they might be comfortable, there might be a lot of premium consumers who want to enjoy this service, but if they are in the process flouting an 80 million won taxi license for the metropolitan area, fundamentally unfair.
Yeah, I mean, they also get, basically, the idea is not only are they sort of, flaunting the fact that there was a loophole about, renting a car that sits between 11 to 15 or 19 people, I forget. But they are also sort of, going around, taxi regulations in place. I mean, was the taxi service such a disarray in South Korea, so that this kind of regulatory arbitrage behavior kind of justified? I mean, I can certainly see for cities like New York City where the taxi license, the taxi medallion that they call it in New York City, the price for that went as high as over $1 million. Clearly that system had a problem, but in South Korea it's a very different kind of industry. I mean, Tata, I think, it is a niche service, but it's not like Korean taxi service was widely hated or looked upon as poor service and poor quality. I think it's far from that. So it does bring to mind certain suspicions about what Tata's business leaders were truly thinking about. Another point to remember is that they kept telling about how 12,000 Tata drivers will lose jobs, but one thing that they don't tell you often is that none of them were regular workers. That all of them were supposedly freelancers. So okay, do the Tata drivers really have job security in the first place? I mean, these questions do pop up. I mean, when they keep saying that we are an innovative company that will push South Korea forward. Really, I mean, there have been lots of questions.
So, Ms. Gu, what's fair and not fair, do you think, on this? Should Tata drivers at least be paying some sort of license, even if it's differentiated from the regular taxi drivers because of the fact that they are effectively acting as taxi drivers?
Well, we have to also keep in mind that the Seoul Central District Court actually ruled last month that Tata was a legitimate rental car service based on the mobile application, Tata offered taxi drivers, the existing taxi drivers with a valid taxi license, 5 million won and a waiver of fees for 3 months if they joined the Tata premium service. So it tried to build a bridge and extend an olive branch to the taxi drivers, and of course for the taxi drivers who had paid up to 80 million won for their licenses, private licenses, it was hardly enough, but still there has to be a model in which companies like Tata will be able to offer taxi riders a wider variety of choice, compared with just the existing taxi service.
Yeah, well, so as consumers, we like choice, and we arguably need choice. And maybe taxi drivers have had it their way, despite being a cheap and generally efficient service. There are people who complain that they refuse to pick them up in certain locations, despite the government trying to ensure that they do. But there is also this attempt, I think, by Tata now to show its value, not just by offering what you just said, but also, for example, the link actually to COVID-19. I started by suggesting that this was a completely different subject, but the Tata CEO, Lee Jae-yong, was the one who filed a petition to the Blue House recently asking the government to pay 500,000 won to all citizens, calling the current economic situation in Korea a crisis of jobs, crisis of income, and crisis of survival, as there had been that call for disaster-related basic income proposed by South Gyeongsang Governor Kim Kyung-soo. So, is this just Tata trying to curry favor with the public right now?
Well, currying favor with the public.
And isn't that just what companies do?
Yes, and not just the companies as well, but if you think about it, the lawmakers were also trying to curry favor with the voters themselves. I mean, 250,000 taxi drivers carry a lot of weight.
Well, companies and politicians, they're both selling something to us, right? And they're both trying to curry some degree of favor. One final point, though, here, and despite the fact that I talked about some taxi drivers not fully behaving when it comes to picking up people, they are held accountable
there's also, the government intentionally controls, demand and supply by, limiting number of, the taxi permits and so forth. I mean, the private taxi licenses in Korea, they actually do trade for, not like, New York City, as I mentioned, about $1 million, but they do, as Ms. Koo mentioned, it could be as valuable as up to 80 million won. So, there is some idea that supply is not as much as it should be, but at the same time, in South Korea, many of the taxi driving is sort of kind of the last ditch, kind of the economic safety net for a lot of people. So, it is understandable why the government would be mindful of that.
Ms. Koo, how about Tada becomes an app company that sets up an app that organizes reservations for legally regulated taxis?